Hey guys, how's it going? It's Dan Honey, and welcome back to another video on Overwatch. So, I've watched a lot of Overwatch pre-season, and the Overwatch League is coming up in about a week's time, right? January the 11th, we have the start date, where we will see all these teams in action with these crazy different comps and these crazy skills and all that. And I was watching the pre-season, and I was thinking, is there anything that we can transfer to our Overwatch? It may not be the same level, but there are some premises I think that we can take into our Overwatch and our competitive climbs, but there are some do's and some don'ts. So we're going to look at the Florida Mayhem versus Dallas Fuel first. And Florida Mayhem, they've come out, they have a Tracer, they have a Roadhog, they have a Orisa, they have the healing combo of the Zen and the Mercy, right? And you got Tavik on the Widowmaker. Widowmaker is quite strong at the moment. I'll show you later on how strong Widowmaker can be at the moment in this meta. But Florida Mayhem have decided not to go with the Bastion on the payload. They've just decided to plonk Orisa on there, which I can understand. Some people will run the Bastion, some people won't. So Dallas Fuel don't have to deal with that. But the interesting thing I see here, right? If we look at Dallas, look at their team comp. They have a Diva, that's fine. They have a Tracer, that's fine, that's pretty cool, you know, pro Overwatch and all that. So those two picks are fine. Then we have a look at their other picks. They have a Roadhog. Now, Roadhog and Diva on defensive Junkertown. Questionable, because this leaves you with no shield. You've got none of this down here. None of it. So, how are you going to withstand any big damage coming in? They didn't know that they weren't going to come up against a Bastion. They've got no shield to protect anyone from the Widowmaker. Because, look at it. If you have a shield, that kind of renders the Widowmaker useless if you're behind that shield. If you're not behind that shield, you're out of position, right? But the even more interesting thing is this. Got Harry Hook on Lucio. First one on Moira. And then you got Chips on the Sombra. Now, Sombra rarely gets used, right? But Sombra is usually used as a second support, because she can hack health packs. Now, there's a health pack over there. I don't think there's a health pack in the main room that Manatin's going into. I don't think there is, but there's health packs in there and over there. Chips can hack them, right? But this, essentially, for Dallas Fuel, is triple support when you come to Pro Overwatch, because Sombra is used as a support. Her EMP is incredibly powerful. Would it make a big difference? It's a big problem for the Zen. Because look at this. Zen is mostly shields. You get a EMP onto Zen, he's 50 health, right? But this is very questionable in terms of combat. Very questionable. So if we play this out, right?
Try and disrupt the play on the card, but we're not actually seeing a Bastion come out from the Florida Mayhem, even though
Madison's just poking. He had the best hit rate
onto
with his
the
hooks,
payload to
right?
make it look like they were going to be running that Bastion up.
Now Coco on that Roadhog gets chased away, took a lot of damage, protected
Just
there by
taking
Harry
down
Hook, moving away, but there's another hook and
the
Coco
Zen
does go
and
down.
Swoosh
Custa did
as
get
Moira.
a couple early on those Zupa and Swoosh.
So yes, it works to start off with, but we get further in, right?
Something different. I like different stuff. Manitin, hook misses.
And suddenly this fight starts to change.
Coco pushed back a little bit. I heard
Because
popped as well by
you've got Manitin going with the whole hog here, right? Tavik's taken out Mickey's mech. You've got Swoosh has taken out Effect. Chips has got the Zen. But Dallas are looking in a questionable position here. Now,
Custa, trying to keep some
I'm
people
putting
up,
this
but it's all
down
Florida
to the
right
fact
now.
that they did not have enough
Vic
damage.
fighting the duel here. Maybe we'll be able to survive. No, he gets the heals
Coco
just at the last moment from Zebasai.
struggling.
Also brings back
There's
Swoosh,
no
and that should be
shields
pretty
to
much
protect
point A. Looks
the Dallas
it's
Fuel
cleanup
here.
time here after they get rid of Custa.
I think it's really difficult
Harry Hook
to
goes
fight
down,
against the
Coco goes
competition
down,
that the
Custa goes
Mayhem
down.
have with what we're seeing from Dallas, because they want to rush
You
those
know,
back
Dallas
lines, but
Fuel
even when
outweigh
they get
the
a
Mayhem,
kill,
right?
Unless they've killed
Outweigh
Zephyr
Florida.
on the Bercy, it's
Quite
a
substantially.
really easy resurrection.
So this is
with
really,
that
really
cast time
questionable.
that we saw.
This comp, don't use it. Dallas Fuel lose Junkertown. They end up winning the series, but they lose Junkertown. And I would put it mainly down to this comp here. It doesn't work. There's no shields. Diva and Roadhog would be good, but they have to be on their own. You have to have a Rhine with that or something else. So yeah, that was kind of not what to do. And plus, with all this here, who's with no shields and these three, who's the biggest winner? The DPS are going to have a field day. They really, really are, especially Tavik on that Widowmaker. A lot of opportunity to shoot these guys down, and no shields to stop them. This was really, really an opportunity for Tavik to show his class, and he really did this match as well. But, moving on. So, another game to have a look at. Los Angeles Gladiators versus the London Spitfire. Now, London Spitfire are one of the strongest teams in this competition. Maybe picked by the Seoul Dynasty, but, you know, you'll have to wait until the season to see that. But what is this, right? London are about to defend First Point Horizon Lunar Colony. Gladiators obviously going to attack. Gladiators going out with Junkrat for spam, you know, Surefire on the Tracer to go in behind. Fairly, you know, normal. Spitfire. Mercy for res, right? Yeah. Zen, your normal healer combo. Third ring on Soldier, that's solid. Fury and Rascal. Fury and Fisher, sorry. These two, very powerful together. And this is something that's being used quite commonly now, is the Orisa Holtz. And say the Orisa Holtz here. You've got Fury going in behind the Orisa. He can hook someone out of the hole, bring them in here, and then they're dead. They're dead. They're gone. And that's basically a pushover when it comes to Pro Overwatch. If you're, you know, down in competitive and all that, then it wouldn't be, you know, pushover. But what are we looking at here? Rascal on the May. Now, this is an odd one. Because everyone's thinking, what? A May? This works. As London Spitfire show, this actually really, really works. May is an incredibly strong character, right? When used in the right conditions. Now, Rascal is here to cause problems for the enemy teams. May is an incredibly irritating character, as we all know. She can freeze people. If they get frozen in competitive, high competitive or pro Overwatch, they are going to die. They are going to die. Watch this hook. Out of nowhere, Shaz is taken out straight away. And then look at Rascal clear up. Surefire. Also, you come in with hydration clearing up hydration. Rascal goes down to the last stem of hydration, but of course Mercy's here to res that straight up. It's really interesting, but the main play for Rascal here, one, his ult covers the entire point. Liz covers the point, right? So there's no escaping it if you want to try and take point. Then you get walls.
of the London Spitfire, and it's interesting because you saw
Faye is an incredibly irritating character. If you want to stall, it's fairly easy to stall, right? But Rascal was hitting these right clicks. Crazy right clicks, right? But the walls, you can wall off. You look at Horizon, right? There's a lot of small rooms, there's a lot of doors, a lot of things to get trapped in. With a Mei, you can wall off a door and seal one person away from the whole team. That is incredibly powerful because you can take that person out and then it's a 5v6. Unless they have a Mercy, obviously. But if you take the Mercy out, that's another opportunity. But we won't get into that because that's all kind of complicated. See your wall there? Fencing off any reinforcements. So you can take care of one target. It's incredibly powerful. But the issue with this Mei, and the reason it's used in Pro Overwatch more than it is in normal Overwatch, is the fact that it requires communication. You've got to go and say, I'm going to wall here, I'm going to fence this person off, and then we can all go in and go. Now the dive from LA Gladiators here worked, right? It worked. They managed to get there, but they don't win this. They don't win this. Because Rascal now has Blizzard, right? And it's incredible. They're coming through this door. Rascal can wall people off as they're coming through. It doesn't always work, but that's what he can do, and that's what makes Mei so strong. She can split teams up, and if you're not going as a team, as you know in competitive Overwatch, you're not going to win the game. That Blizzard has just stopped people from moving. The wall stopped reinforcements from coming in. This was an extremely efficient defense by Spitfire. But look at the D.Va here. Rascal freezes Bishu, but doesn't kill her. Because baby D.Va is not a threat. If you can stall out a baby D.Va without her mech, that is fantastic. Then go and kill her. And she stalled. That's fantastic. That gains you a massive amount of time. But that's the cover I wanted on Spitfire versus the Gladiators. So this is the last thing I'm going to look at, right? This is the Seoul Dynasty versus the Shanghai Dragons. Now, arguably, Shanghai Dragons is one of the weakest teams in the Overwatch League, and Seoul Dynasty is arguably one of the best, if not the best. I mean, we got names like Wu Hong and things here, right? So, we have got Seoul Dynasty running a pretty divey. I mean, this is new era dive comp, right? Old era dive comp, you'd have a Lucio in for the Mercy, but Mercy is just so powerful right now, you're going to have a Mercy. This is divey, you have D.Va, you have Winston, Tracer, Genji, Zen for the orbs. And then you have Shanghai Dragons. Now, Shanghai Dragons is fairly divey, but you have an exception here, right? They've matched Dynasty into the extent that they have D.Va, Winston, Zen, Tracer, Mercy, but they have the Widowmaker. Not a conventional Genji, like you might have attacking here. This is a demonstration of how effective Widowmaker can be, right? Widowmaker is coming into the meta, and you better believe it. Because, as Dia shows here, it can be pretty powerful. Now, Shanghai Dragons, they're coming in here. Dia gets the pick onto the Tracer, the Seoul Dynasty, and Widow, at this point, she may not be getting kills, but she is zoning. She is zoning this point massively. They have Seoul Dynasty here have to stay out of sightlines, because otherwise they're going to get picked off by Dia. It's pretty obvious. And now Dia has walls, right? She has the hacks. Dragons reset. And this is probably Fleta popping off. as Fletter tends to do. Fletter likes to pop off every now and then. You'll see another one in a minute. So Soul Dynasty coming in the attack here. And
nearly has that pulse bomb available. He's basically got it right now.
look at the kill feed.
That is huge to lose that Mercy.
Oh, Dia with a 3K.
Yeah,
Look at that kill feed.
Right
Dia has just taken out the Mercy, the Winston,
Shanghai's got a great opportunity here.
and the Diva.
Actually, a pretty good delay for Bunny before he finally goes down. Enough time for
That's what you. What's what happens when you lapse slightly and get in the sightlines of a Widowmaker at pro level. Because a Widowmaker is quite dangerous, I think we find, don't we? Now, Shanghai Dragons. Look at that.
Almost that entire control meter
That
built up.
left-handed. I'm sorry.
We're still looking at Undead
Look at
right
that.
now.
They almost have that
Finally
point.
gets taken out by Zephyr in the
Spoilers.
Diva form
They don't
with
get
a
it.
pistol whip, and there's the Dragon Blade somehow
Soul Dynasty pulled off a bit of a
managing to
surprising
deflect this.
comeback here, but look at
He actually got some
Fletter.
damage, though, I think, with the reflect onto the Widowmaker.
Are you kidding
Oh dear, oh
me?
dear, oh
I
dear.
thought for sure Shanghai Dragons would
Fletter is
especially
one
with
of the
Ultra
best,
coming
if
in
not
with
the
the
best
bounce,
DPS
those
in
reses,
Overwatch
but
League.
Fleta again, becoming the hero with that Dragon
It's
Blade.
straight as.
Soul was
You know,
cycling people
Alright.
on and off the
he
point
is
with
going to be
the
very, very
response.
difficult to
And
beat.
after
You're going to
the
have to shut him
3K
down
from
pretty
Dia,
well.
Man, 3 back-to-back headshots
Now,
is very
we're gonna see a
impressive for
replay of this,
Widowmaker
right?
player.
He's a great winner.
Yeah, he opened up the point in a
In a
big
second.
way, but the target selection after that simply
In a second.
wasn't there
Anyway,
for the Shanghai Dragons. Toby now on the
so
Moira, as we can see, trying to
Widowmaker
be a little bit
is
more
coming into the
elusive.
meta, and the reason
I like the
is
change on the Moira.
for this
You've got
is
the same
because
mechanics, you've got all that built
she
fast.
can pick that Mercy.
Wow, he
If that Mercy
nearly didn't get out of
appears
range of that
in
self-destruct.
front of the
That's
sights of a
dangerous one. You
Widowmaker,
could
if that
avoid
Widowmaker has
damage
aim,
fade, but
she kills the
timing
Mercy.
wasn't
You
quite
kill the
right.
Mercy,
He did
you're
there.
basically killing 2 or 3
And the
people.
nice thing is, look, he's already got it
Because
solved.
that means
And
no
so
res.
Moira, she does a ton of AoE
And
healing.
Taking res
Unfortunately,
out of the
people are
game
going to be
is
grouped up
incredibly
together
valuable
more
at the
a lot
moment.
of the time.
Let's have a look at this
But with
replay, which
that
is coming up
set
now.
quickly, you've got some great utility.
Yeah, but you
So this
don't
is
have the Valkyrie
Dia.
for Widowmaker picks,
Takes Toby
right?
out.
That is
Takes
a
Cookie,
nice
takes
shoot.
Fletter.
Oh, man, beautiful from Dia.
If you can aim as Widowmaker,
The reason why he has
then
a
you are
reputation
onto
as a
something, right?
standout DPS
you
player.
are extremely onto something. Because a good Widowmaker is extremely dangerous. And this is something you can use in combat. If you have the aim, then you take out a Mercy, you're doing an incredible job. That's an amazing pick. But if you pick anything, and you force the res out of a Mercy, then that's fantastic. That's brilliant. That's top draw. Without res, Mercy is kind of old Mercy without ultimate. She's just healing and buffing. And she's not a significant danger because res has a 30-second cooldown, as we know. Unless she has ult. But a Widowmaker is coming into the meta. Believe it, she's coming. So if you have aim, I would consider touching up your Widowmaker skills because I think she's coming into the meta. You had the Mercy meta. Believe me, to counter the Mercy meta, I think you're going to have the Widowmaker meta coming in for certain points. Obviously, there's exceptions like Attack Bastion on Junkertown. It's, you know, there's exceptions of maps, and in Overwatch League, you're going to see some upsets on Junkertown. I fully believe it. The Gladiators upset Spitfire on Junkertown. The Dallas Fuel got upset by the Florida Mayhem on Junkertown. Although, as we've seen with the Fuel, it was a questionable comp in the first place. But this has been a bit of an insight into something we can use and some things we can't use in the Overwatch League and what we can use in our own Overwatch plays. But obviously, take this with a pinch of salt. I might do a few more of these when the Overwatch League starts and that. This isn't going to be a real regular thing. But I'm not sure how this has worked, you know. I'm not sure how this has worked, but I hope it's worked for you guys. And I hope it's a bit of an interesting. It's not an analytic thing. I don't believe I'm good enough to analyze pro players, considering I'm silver. Right? This is not what I'm getting at. I'm just picking out things that I think that can be used in real life situations. not pro situations, real life competitive situations. And I believe, say, Season 5 and Season 6, you'd be saying, why on earth are you picking Widowmaker? That's such a stupid pick, unless you're like an Ilios Ruins or something. But now, she's becoming more of a viable pick. She's becoming, maybe this is an idea. Maybe we can pick this Mercy and turn the game. Because Widowmaker can turn the game if you have the aim. If you don't have the aim, don't pick Widowmaker. Go and improve your aim, then pick Widowmaker. These are extreme examples. I would be surprised to see anyone hit 3 headshots in a row in competitive, unless you come across any, of course, pro Overwatch players in competitive. But yeah, I hope it's turned out alright, but something different. I might do it every now and then. It's not the easiest thing to set up, believe me. You should see my setup in front of me. But for now, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a like, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you in the next video. See you then!